Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media podcast. And as always, big thank you, shout outs to everyone that continues to tune in, listening to our interviews, checking out our website, hhdgmedia.com, as you can see on the bottom banner, and also checking out our Facebook group, HHDG, which stands for Hip Hop Discussion Group. As I just mentioned, you can go check out our website, hhdgmedia.com, which also has our merch, upcoming events, written interviews, and slowly but surely we continue to put more of our live interviews up there, as well as the music. This is always made possible through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of our 5 owners, the family, T. Smith, Skelly Top, Rock Vader KB, the mayor, and also myself, Wiki. Now for tonight, we have 2 seasoned musicians. Definitely been putting it in for quite some time. And the chemistry that they have on their December 2nd project, Dark Nights, it definitely solidifies what it is to do what you love and continue to do it no matter what type of setbacks you might be going through in life. You know, for a lot of people, music is their therapy. For a lot of people, music is what keeps them going. And the way they put together their project is definitely, it's a lovely thing to see the chemistry that not everybody is capable of doing, because a lot of people want to force stuff too often. And they did a great job with this. Now, both of them repping NC, Raleigh to be exact. And one I've known for quite some time, because if you know of Justice League and the away team, you already know. And you definitely, I always get the glimpses of that signature of the music that's been putting in throughout all these years. And one thing I love about his music is, as you get older, your music should mature with you. And he does that. And he definitely gives trials and tribulations, life lessons, and, keep pushing. And with the producer on Dark Nights, which I'm still, learning about, but I've listened to certain projects like The Winter Tape. He's got the song Cool Breeze. And he did some work with Charlotte artists. I think it's pronounced Go Mills. I like that stained glass joint he did. So we definitely gonna talk about the new album as well as what they've been up to aside from that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce once again, coming to HHDG Media, Sean Boog.
What's good? Peace, man.
Peace,
How you
peace. Good, doing good.
I appreciate that intro. That's music. That the way you said music is like you grow with it, and it keeps some of us going. Man, if that ain't the truth, that's the truth.
Indeed,
Really.
indeed.
Yeah.
And also, for the first time, Frank the Fresh.
Peace.
Peace,
What's going
peace.
on, man?
How you
Yeah,
doing?
good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me again. Appreciate you, Wiki.
I appreciate it. Like I said, the chemistry on the new album is, I enjoy it. And I think at my age, I still like to listen to a diverse type of hip hop and other music, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
certain music hits differently when you get older. And I appreciate, what the two of you put together for Dark Nights.
Yeah, man, for sure. Listen, I just want to start by saying, this, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into it, but this whole thing is really still kind of mind blowing for me, considering, just like you alluded to, if you from NC, you know about Justice League. And anybody who is, tapped into what the NC hip hop and rap culture and scene has been like, for the last 15, 20 years, it's an absolute honor to say that, I've got the chance to work with one of the pioneers of that whole movement. So Boog, again, man, I've told you this before. I'll say it publicly. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for trusting my sound. Really just, giving, your boy a shot to, provide a canvas for you, to
Mhm.
paint on. So yeah, yeah.
You know it's love. I mean, it's love. Because I'm just gonna say this without you have to ask the question because I've been wanting to say this anyway. It's funny because when I started hearing Frank's beats, it's like I think it was via Twitter. You were putting stuff up and we were
Yeah.
talking and whatnot. And it's funny because when you talk about the Justice League, it flashed me back to early days. Soon as I heard the beat, like I was just like it
Mm.
just felt like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah.
soon as you started sending me stuff, I was just like, this just feels like I can just do my thing. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't no thinking in it. Like it just moved,
Uh-huh.
Right.
and it was
Right.
like, and what drew me to it. My main thing about your beats that I love the most is your bass lines, man.
Oh
Your
man,
bass
appreciate
lines,
it.
those
Baseline.
shits, they stand. It took me to like that's like I do it feels like a Red Man joint. Like I just,
Yeah.
but the bass line was so
Yeah.
driving, and I was just like, I've been wanting to tell you. I haven't told you that. I need to tell you.
Man, listen,
So
I
let me say
appreciate
that.
that, bro. And let me take the opportunity to, I always believe iron sharpens iron. And so
True.
I've only been like producing and making beats like full time, like full steam ahead since maybe roughly 2018. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
So like I've just in one of those, rare cases where people are like, yo, like you sound like you've been at this for much longer, is because I made a conscious effort to really just put my all into it. But along with that, I got to take a moment to give a shout out to my man Sam Poetry, who is a fellow, producer and MC out of Cleveland, Ohio. And
Hmm.
he's the one who really just kind of like, yo, Frank, let me show you what these bass lines can do over these beats. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Mm.
he in just really each one teaching one type situation, gave me some game of just how to sharpen my skill set when it came to the bass lines. And so now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's on, because I admittedly, like, bass lines was a struggle initially for me because like
Wow.
I overthought it a lot when it came to like adding a bass line that complemented what the drums were doing, maybe what the sample harmonics was doing.
Hmm.
And just over
Mm.
time, man, I just sharpened that skill set. I was like, nah, I'm getting, like, these beats have to have bass lines. I'm getting this. So yeah, man. But yo, Bug, thank you, bro. I'm just
You
glad
got
you be rocking with it, bro.
it. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. For sure. Yeah, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, Frank, you just mentioned something that is definitely important, and it goes back to the intro. You said music full time. So
Yeah,
let's rewind a little bit back and talk
for sure.
about, you know, what
Yeah.
really
So
got you to that point of I'm gonna do this full time. Even though you worked on it in the past, what made you go full time?
yeah, so that's a good question, man. So to really just kind of take it back and as far as my story goes, man. So I'm Maryland born but NC raised, East Carolina University graduate. And when I was in college, me and one of my good, my good homeboys, one of my frat brothers, we formed a group. As we were getting ready to finish school, we were called TSB. That stood for the Spitzwell Brothers. And we were just figuring out, man. We dropped maybe between 2009 to 2013 about 5 or 6 mixtapes, man. That I don't know if for those who still like got that piff, and if you able to find some of these joints, like you sitting on a very rare a very rare thing, because a lot of that music is just gone now. But that's where it started, you know what I'm saying? So around 2013 though, when kind of life was taking us both in different directions, I
Uh-huh.
stepped away from music for a little while, you know what I mean? But when I got back into it, this, around like that 2016, 2017, 2018 mark, I knew that I was like,
Mhm.
well, rapping is something that I felt like I could do, but like maybe spot check here and there, sort of like 3000 does now, where he'll like drop a verse out of nowhere and it'll be like the best thing we've ever heard. But I decided that at one point I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like I have anything else to say regarding the rapping and performing side of things, but I love music. And I've always been intrigued with like the production side of things, like always.
Mhm.
I mean, man, the first time I heard Midnight Marauders, it changed my life. And Q-Tip is, anybody that knows me will tell you he is the top of the top for me, and just what I've tried to like study in terms of technique and just that bounce, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like my production, I really try to like stay in that core, you know what I'm saying? Because like the bounce is what, there's a certain BPM that I feel like you don't really get much of in a lot of like rap that we're hearing today. And like people sort of abandon that 85 to 93, maybe even up to 95 BPM
I
sound,
love it.
right?
That's
And
I
see,
love it, boy.
and that's why, it's crazy because, when I initially started, like when I initially reached out to Boog, I was like, I wanted to make sure I caught him at a point where he was active, right? And so I know he was on sort of a run with projects he was dropping, right? And so I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me take a shot. And so I was like, yo, Boog, let me keep it short. Been a fan for years, bro. Since the away team, I'm doing, this is what I do. Boom, check it out if you feel it. And yo, without hesitation, he was like, yo, Frank, I fool with you, bro. Like I've been seeing you do your thing. So I just started just sending them joints that I knew would be in his wheelhouse, that 85 to 93, 95 BPM. And it's just something about that tempo, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of the subject matter, just regardless of the direction you're going with the song, it invokes a
Hmm.
certain bounce so that
Hmm.
if people want to dance to it, they can. If people just want to like vibe out to it, they can. But you don't hear it as much. You know what I'm saying? Everything's either like super sped up or either super slow. So you got like
Hmm.
that middle ground is what was missing. And that's kind of the target I wanted to hit, when me and Boog began the process of like laying foundation for this album. Yeah. So that was a
Hmm.
lot, but that's sort of my story from the beginning, my thought process throughout, my music journey up until now. You know what I'm saying? Just full time on the beats. Yep.
Nice, nice. Music should always hit the soul, especially like I was saying before, music is therapy. And going to what you were saying, a lot of music, it just feels like people at times just want to make music to get get noticed or make money.
Yeah.
And you could tell the difference when a lot of people put their heart and their soul into how they create the music. And
Hmm.
it's funny that you mentioned that because just yesterday I saw this old clip of Mary J. Blige and Puffy in the studio, and she got
Hmm.
upset with him because the mix that he was playing did not have that same feel, that soul in it,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and she didn't want that mix to be
Yeah.
done, be finalized.
Right. Hmm.
It is a feeling.
Because yeah, when you have a vision for something, sometimes it's the most important thing. So it's like even if people can do something, it's like, oh, that sounds good, but it's not. That's not it. That's not what we're looking for.
Hmm.
So I definitely
Yep.
understand that. I
And
definitely understand
and
that.
crazy enough, man, me and Boog went through, so this album was the better part of 2.5, almost 3 years in the making. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
went through
Yeah.
those
Wow.
waves of like, yo, do we got it? And Boog hit me back. He was like, yo, man, like I wrote this, but the mix, I'm not really feeling that. Boom. And what all of that time period taught me, number one, was like really understanding the patience and the time it takes to really craft something that is going to be worthwhile and stand the test of time, right?
There it is.
And
Hmm.
and throughout this time, you got to understand, we both grown men, we got our own families, we got our own obligations and stuff. So we're trying to navigate the creative space as well as our own personal and professional lives outside of music. And to that point, it's like, yeah, you can, there are those pockets where you think you got it and you think this is it. But when you take a moment to really just step back and take a look at it, listen, put it away for a little while, come back to it maybe a month later, and you're like, all
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
bet this feels right. We can go forward. And
Hmm.
that's ultimately what happened. You know what I'm saying? This was not by any means a just like overnight thing. Like I could
Right.
say, for in an era where it's
Hmm.
so easy to just put something out and just drop it just because,
Hmm.
oh, I recorded it, boom, I'll put it out the next day. This actually took some time, and I'm proud of that fact. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it took some time, and we have a couple leftovers that I was just I didn't think were up to par. And I don't normally have leftovers like that. I'm not to. It's not like not a bragging thing. It's just normally everything I record gets put out for the most
Put
part.
out. Okay.
So it's not normal for me to have some leftovers as far as like songs that I've written, whatever. But like he said, I mean, we took our time with it. We took our time with it. We wanted it to sound really good. And I want to shout out my boy Charles, man, who mixed and mastered it.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a
for
beast.
sure.
He got
For
busy
sure.
on it when we finally had everything together. Um, yeah, he brought it home, man. He
Yeah.
brought it home, and it was a fun process, man. A
Yeah.
fun process. Frank don't really miss on the beat. I mean, he sent so much stuff. I had to pick and choose. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And a lot of
There was a
that,
lot. Yeah.
and admittedly, man, I was working with like two different like mindsets. Number one, the first thing I'm like, yo, how am I going to? Well, I didn't feel like I didn't want to compete with what him and Crisis did. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure what I was doing was contributing, but I'd be sitting here lying if I said, yo, I want to make sure that like I'm giving Boog something that he can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows this man is seasoned when it comes to like this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure what I was doing was going to be in that same vein, but actually like still be me. You know what I'm saying? So that when you hear
Mm,
it, it's just like, oh, yo, this sounds refreshed, you know what I'm saying? But it's a nod to the type of rap and hip hop and music that we all, like really grew up and appreciate, not only, amongst the what we've always been listening to, but for sure, from NC. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be NC at the end of the day. So yeah, I think we
Mm.
accomplished that.
You
Yep.
definitely, yeah,
100%.
you accomplished that.
100%.
Indeed,
I agree.
indeed.
Man.
And then Sean, I mean, I gotta ask. I might have asked you this before, but you
Mhm.
continue on with the theme of the night, like you
Right.
did with is Midnight Somewhere series,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then the
Hmm.
joint the Between Midnight. So
Right. Right.
was a lot of this work done at night?
Oh, I only record at night. I don't like well, a lot of time. So I run a screen print business. That's my job. So all day I'm working. You know what I
Right, right, I
mean? And
remember that. Yeah.
usually, yeah. So everything happens at night for me. Not that it always had, but see, I do all my own
Right.
recording now. So I record to myself. It
Yeah.
lets me zone out more. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
set up but yeah, always at night. Always
Yeah.
at night. I've always been a night person like that. So I mean, like there'll be afternoons like on weekends, and I'll be sitting around like, should I? Nah, it's daytime. You know what I mean? I'm really that person. Um, I will
That's
say though that this is gonna I am gonna close the midnight series as I call it with this album,
Hmm.
and I told Frank that I said I wanted this to be the last one. Um, my only real regret from this is Sean Kernick, who did all the other album covers. He was unable to do this one. I want to shout him out for all the covers he did.
for sure.
An amazing
Yeah, he just
artist. We just the time just got mixed up, and we just kind of missed each other. We talked about it,
Mhm.
didn't go through. That was my only regret from this album. But yeah, always at night. Sean, it's funny because, and I might have said this last time we interviewed. I don't remember, but um, so Sean Boogie Nights was something that I remember the league back in like 2003 were telling me you need to call yourself, you need to do Sean Boogie Nights. That's it. And I was like, nah, that's stupid. That's stupid. Now that's like my shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean that's kind of went from there. Like when I did Sean Boogie Nights when I was over at Jamla and I did that album, I just kind of ran with that when I decided to get back into the ring, and and
Mhm.
and it felt natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man,
Gotcha,
and it's
gotcha.
crazy, like with this being the ending of the Knights series. It's like it feels like it feels like, man, you put the tape that you put in the deck and you just let it ride as you getting ready to
Right.
like just
Yeah.
drive off. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting ride out through the city, man. You know what I'm saying? I think of like downtown Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? Weekend, you just cruising. You know what I'm saying? Through the night, it's like it's the perfect soundtrack to a night of just riding around the city, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just cruising. You know what I mean? Especially when you get to songs like Zone Out, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that sample has always been something that like I was like, yo, I know this joint has been flipped a dozen different times before by different folk, but I know I want to put a different twist on it. And I knew when I
Mm-hmm.
sent
If
that
you're
one to Bug and he sent it back, he was like, yo, I'm ending the album on this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that
Yep.
Mhm.
zone out was just like, yo, if this is the song that you walk away from this series with, that's it. That it's
Yeah.
zone out. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
real. That's
yeah.
real. Agreed. Yep. Especially
Yeah.
and the other thing I loved about it, and I dropping it in the wintertime was intentional
Yeah.
because it felt winter to me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I was looking at Dark Nights as like not depressing, but like more dreary, if you will. But I mean, even though that there's up tempo, I mean all that type of stuff. But just the overall, like I always go back to I Do It and different songs like that that feel like wintertime, nighttime, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what. And I'm glad it worked out like that when we got everything together.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't, I might have just held it for a few months. Like if we were done in the summer, it might have just waited. You know what I mean? So, but when we got done is when we got done. But I'm
Yeah.
yeah. So it all worked out the way I was hoping it would, and yeah, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. On on the track laid back, you said I just want to have a comfortable life,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and expand on that because if anyone has been listening to Sean Boog's prior projects, I mean not just
mm-hmm,
recent but past few
mm-hmm,
years,
mm-hmm,
you talk about your life a lot, and
mm-hmm,
when you talk about it, it seemed like you have slowed down,
mm-hmm.
from the way you were in the past, and
Right. Mm-hmm.
for you, has that been a refreshing type of atmosphere now?
Yeah. So yeah, I've slowed down a lot, man. I don't leave the house unless I'm doing some work. Like I'm just one of those people now. But yeah, I mean I'm 40. I turned 45 in December. So like it's when you heard me when you heard the weight team joints early on, I mean we were in our early 20s. I was out
Right,
wild. Like
right.
that's you can tell. I mean, so I mean like so yeah, I've slowed down. So when I say I want a comfortable life, it's like so you can people think when people sometimes think about artists, maybe, and sometimes artists are still doing music, especially in their 40s and this, that, and the other. It's like, oh, well, they must be well off and everything's good, so they can just. I still struggle. You know what I mean? Life's hard. When you run your own business, money comes, money goes. It's
Mhm.
so my overall theme, especially when I do music. Number one is I'm from the era of honesty. Be who you are. Talk about what you know. Do not, you know what I'm saying? Don't step in the realms that you don't know about.
Hmm.
That's just what I'm cut from. That's what I do. So I just keep it my life and hope people can understand that.
Yeah.
Um, and and when I say I want a comfortable life, it's just I would. It must be nice to wake up and not have worries, and that's my always my driving force. You know what I mean? So when I say I'm looking for comfort, quiet, peace, I'm married. I have a wife, a dog, and a house. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure I maintain that and keep my life peaceful and happy as I can, especially in these times. Like you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
And that's man, man, to piggyback off of that, like, and it couldn't working with Boog on this album couldn't have come at a more opportune time too, because I'll be 43 in April. And so I'm right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
We all in our
in
40s.
my
Yeah.
40s, man, I'm a husband, I'm a father, like,
hmm
we got full-time job. Like, yo, life exists outside of this space right here. But
for sure.
this is
Hmm.
a retreat. You know what I'm saying? This is that, that zone, that comfort zone that we have to express ourselves and still do what we love and enjoy, and to do so without, all the constraints that some of the other people who, they might be a lot more well off than we are, you know what I'm saying? Like
hmm
financially and
hmm
all this stuff, but their careers come with a certain caveat too. It's like
For
they
sure.
don't have the
hmm
freedom to really drop music as they want whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? And just like, they we are literally just doing something, hoping that it sticks somewhere, and whatever happens with it after we create it, good or bad, you know what I'm saying? We're just like, yo, we have the freedom and the space to do this on our own terms. And I
hmm
think that life definitely started lifing for me, a few months back. And Boog hit me with a text, like, on IG, I was like, yo, I think I'm about to step away from this again for a while, just because I was starting to feel like the weight of the world and things going on around me and just personal stuff I was dealing with family was
Mhm.
just like, yo, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he hit me with, which was probably to date his most vulnerable moment with me. You know what I'm saying? But he just let me know, like, yo, Frank, boom to boom. This is what it's been for me, these last few years. So I decided to get back into the ring, but we doing this because we love it. You know what I'm saying? So you take the time you need, but just remember that fact. And I needed that, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, especially, being a producer, like I know there's a community of producers here in NC, and I'm thankful for those that have reached out to kind of, form some camaraderie. Shout out to the Genius Party, collective here in the area that puts on events and functions to really highlight the producer community. But for the most part, like Boog, I'm in the house, bro. Like I work by myself. I don't have
Hmm.
a bunch of people around me when I'm cooking up and doing a bunch of stuff. It's just me and these machines in here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a siloed space. I do a lot of my cooking at night too, you know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
because I'm
Yep.
working all day and make sure my
Hmm.
wife and my son is good before and boom. So I know what it's like to work with, in that frame of mind and that mode. So working on this album with Boog just was in so many ways there are a lot of parallels is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah, and we really connected on that point because as we've talked about before, Wiki, is that like I stepped away for like 8 years, and it got to a point where everything just kind of crashed out, and I was done. I mean, I know this is like a term that's thrown around and all this. It's like, but I am like introverted. I don't prefer to be out and about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my brother always kind of clowns like, "Why you make music then? That's stupid." But it's like, but that's just been me. So
Yeah.
in my 20s and early 30s, I was running around. I was running around. So when I finally slowed down and got married,
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I felt like I ran out of everything to say and all of that. And that's basically what I told Frank. I was just like, look, man, I've been there. Do what you got to do, but
Yeah.
but always keep it open to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You never
Yeah.
want to just abandon it because coming
Sure.
back and doing this was I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do. Period. Is just make
Yeah.
music. I love making music. I tweeted this not too long ago. Um, I'm gonna always continue to make music and put it out. If it's
Yeah.
received, it's received. If it's not, it's not. I mean, I really genuinely don't care.
Yep.
I've never been highly paid off music anyway. I've done some great things and had a great times and did different things. It's never been about the money for me. So
Yeah.
it's always the love. It's always the appreciation. It's always trying to contribute to hip hop. And then just if I can make any mark. And oh, another thing I like to do, and especially in these later years, that's why I appreciate Frank saying what he said was I was looking. I really like if I wish I had almost more power because I would love to put on more people. There's so many talented people, especially in NC. So if there's
Yeah.
any way I can do my part to help other people be heard, that that that's a blessing to me. Like
Yeah,
I
big
live
for
for
me.
that. Yeah, I live for that. So
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's crazy because like man, one of my favorite, if not the favorite, my favorite Fonte verse came on the marquee. And that line where he was like, yo, I don't need to make a killing, just need to make a living. Got
Living.
plans,
Hmm.
got fans, and my name is on the building. Like
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
line is like, yo, that's the basis of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've to Book's point, I don't make money off of this. You know what I'm saying? Like here and there, somebody will shoot me some bread for some beats or whatever. But
Hmm.
for the most part, it's just like, yo, I'm doing this because I just like making what I like to listen to and hear. And if
For
someone
sure.
else
Amen.
enjoys it and feels it, wonderful. If not, that doesn't have any bearings on whether or not I'm gonna continue to create. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
as long as, and I think that's where it starts. If you believe enough in what you're doing, the rest will follow. Because trust me, if you dope and you making music that number one is authentic, real, and people can like resonate, it resonates with people, the rest is gonna work itself out. Like, and
Yep.
crazy enough, like I was, when I initially started beat making, I was just like, yo, all right, yo, I want this person, I gotta send beats to this person, that person. I was just like a lot of folk, blind sending beats out to people, not really knowing what to expect. But the moment I just stopped that completely and focused on building my brand on social media, on Instagram primarily, just performing what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, and man, that's how a lot of things started happening. It was like, oh snap, the algorithm started doing its thing, and before you know
Yep.
it, like, oh okay, here we go. Let's and but that's where it is, and so that's where I focus a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Just
Hmm.
I just cook. I cook, create the content, and see what happens. You know? Yeah.
I feel that. Yep.
Hmm.
I'm an introvert myself. This is probably the most people see me throughout the
No
year
doubt. Yeah.
is on the podcast.
Right, right, for
Uh,
sure, for sure. Yeah.
But one of your posts, Frank, that really resonated with me was when you were showing yourself and you put the caption, "I'm in the office and I still have an album to promote," because
oh
Hmm.
that
yes.
kind of that reminds me of I do IT for a living, and I'm still on social media spreading the word on music, where to go buy it directly from the artist and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
I I definitely related with that
Yeah, man.
post.
And I think
100%.
that's sort of like, it's like people it's like, oh, you can't have a actual job, or a job that you have to go to every day and do this. It's like it's got to be one or the other, or you have to sacrifice more of your time to one in order to no, if you know how to maintain that balance, it's actually encouraged now more than ever.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
if you are fortunate and blessed enough to have a job and be gainfully employed in this turbulent society that we are living through
Hmm.
right now,
Hmm.
please, by all means, do that. But at the same time, don't
Yep.
feel like that's the end all be all to you not being able to create, and be an artist in your own
Hmm.
regard. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes the will to want to do it, and just going after it. You know what I'm saying? In the best way that suits you. It doesn't work the same
Hmm.
for everybody, but I fully encourage, if you are a creative, try to do it in your own way. Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, man.
So you said about 2 to 3 years to create Dark Nights.
Hmm.
Um, how was it when you described a little bit about when you first heard Frank's production?
Hmm.
How did what did he give you at first? Did he give you like a whole batch, or you just
Oh, let me think. Oh God, let me think about that. Um, oh God, what was the first joint we recorded? That'll help me. Do you remember?
So I think the first one that I got back was it on a ride? No, was it on a ride? Oh man.
It might.
I
It,
I think I sent him. It was definitely like a batch. Like
it
I
was a
think
batch.
it
Yeah,
was
Mhm.
like maybe at least 10. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
was like,
yeah, for
yo,
Okay?
sure.
if you feel if you rock with these, just let me know. Type thing, right? And so before I knew it, I forget I was actually. Oh, I know. I was actually in Houston on a my homeboy was getting married, so we were out there for his bachelor weekend, and I next thing I know, I'm just getting like hit back to back to back with like Sean had just like dropped some joints. She was like, "Yo, check these out." He's in a flow state, as the kids saying right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right.
I was in Houston, and I just remember like, "Yo, okay," and they were just like rough drafts of just kind of what he was thinking, But man, it was sounding good, and I'm just like, okay, I think we might have something. You know what I'm saying? Because initially I just thought it might, we might drop some loosies here or there, because I don't even know at that point if the actual idea or concept for the album was even a thing yet. I think we were just like
Okay.
testing the water. You know what I'm saying? He was just
Hmm. Hmm.
writing, recording, sending them back to
Hmm.
me to see what I thought. And he was just sending me back missile after missile after missile. And it was just like, oh, and I think what motivates me is I understand people have like a process and their turnaround time varies, but when like I'm getting like back to back to back like rough drafts of you inspired, that means I did something right. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because that's what I got into this for, right? I was like, yo, people like, people say to me, yo, your beats just make me want to rap. And it's like, bet,
Mm.
bet. That's it. That is the
That's it.
core
That's
of
the
Yep.
what
point.
it is. That's the point. Like, I don't care if it doesn't make you want to think of like your magnum opus. If you just want to freestyle, like as you're going down the highway, that is it. And so
Yeah.
when he was just sending me back some rough drafts of what he was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, we got something. We got something cooking here for sure.
Yeah, and then and what he would do, like I remember there were times he would send like 3 joints, like it'd just be random, like just whatever. It might be a Tuesday, just 3 joints. Like, sorry man, I gotta send these joints I just did. And
Man,
he just kept it steady, which is
yeah,
also something I appreciate because it's like I'm not a big like so when I hear beats, I pretty much know it from the jump. Like I'm like this is gonna be one, this is gonna be one. I
Mhm.
might not record right away, but I'm like that's one.
yeah,
And it's like I don't really do much. Like I kind of pick them as soon as they come. So if you send me 10, just whatever. If there's 2 on there, I know that I'm gonna mess with. Then I'll take those 2, and I already know. And he
yeah,
just kept doing it and sending. I was like, God damn. So I'm trying to like, I'm like, oh shit. Well, I had an idea for this, but now I want this one. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So he just kept it so consistent and just so on point that it was like he's like, man, I'm not trying to bother you with beats. I'm like, just send the goddamn beats. Fuck that.
yeah. I
Send the
was,
beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
yeah, bro. I
cool.
was just like, yo, I don't want to overwhelm him. You know what I'm saying? But I was in that mode where I was like, yo, I'm because see, at that point, I was creating with him in mind, right? So like
Mm,
Mhm.
after, the first 2, maybe he sent me back that were like, yo, okay, I'm the next batch that I'm actually making. I'm like, yo, I'm doing so subconsciously with like Boog in mind. So I already knew. I was like, yo, this is about to be hot off the skillet. I'm sending it right to him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happens with it, I know that I did. This is you in mind because I'm hearing your
mm,
voice. I'm hearing your cadence. I'm
mm,
hearing your stream of thought. You know what I'm saying? As I'm doing this. And so I was like, yo,
That
bet.
is a real
And I hadn't
producer
even
right
told him
there.
this yet, but I'm listening to Dark Nights and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, yo, I don't know. We might have to back to back another
oh, we're
joint,
gonna
bro.
run it
I
back.
was like, yo, we might have to run this back because some of this stuff I'm doing now, I'm just like, yo, whoo. Because that's the other thing too. So the beats that I was sending him, they were, of course, obviously, like current for that time, but you're talking like 2, 3 years. I'm still like growing, still learning, still sharpening, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh boy, the next joint we come with, whatever that may be. Whoo.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I just haven't hit you with it yet, but
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah.
For sure.
It's crazy.
Hmm.
So Frank, what was the first equipment that you attempted your production on?
Yeah, so the first piece of gear I picked up was machine. And I think it was because um obviously, man, like, I'm inspired by Knife, you know what I'm saying, and the contributions he's made to, my life and this culture, period. So I started
Mhm.
there. And I think I used Machine for about 6 to 8 months, and I did a bunch of beats on it. But then I was like, if I want to, if I really want to, you know, consider myself a full fledged like producer in this thing, I said I wanted to use an MPC. I want to learn how to use the machine that all the greats at some point had to use. And man, when I picked up the MPC, I haven't put it down. I have not put it down. Like that is my
Wow.
weapon of choice. And yeah, I just love the workflow. um it's just, yeah, it's just me at this point, you know what I'm saying? So as long as Akai keeps refreshing these units and coming with the updates that they do, yeah, I see myself using this thing till the wheels fall off. And I know that in an age where people are using like FL Studio and people are tethered to their laptops, I still prefer the tactile approach to beat making. I have to feel like I'm using these hands like I'm a blacksmith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
I never
Hmm.
forget Alchemist was like, he said,
Understood.
man, I feel like I'm a old cobbler making shoes, you know what I'm saying, when I make these beats, because I'm putting my own personal touch, like using these hands to like mold something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing this, like that clickety click click dragging on the mouse thing. That's cool, but Man, no, I prefer, the tactile approach to beat making. So that's why I
Those
use
hands are
sampling.
insured.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, man.
Right. Right. Mm. It was trying to remember. I think it was on the winter tape that you dropped early
Yeah,
late 2025.
yeah,
When I heard that project, I was like, wow, you're really in tune with the season. And before I heard that, I heard what you put on your post
mhm.
and also some of the other projects that you did, like what was it? Mischief Managed too.
Oh yeah, that was like a couple years, like about a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep, I remember that. Yep, yeah, yeah, man.
I was
So
like, I was gonna say you definitely. I see the diversity in your production.
yeah, yeah, man. It's crazy because I reached a point where I felt like I was hoarding music. Like, man, I got, and my hard drive was about to burst at the seams, and so I just like middle to almost end of last year, I was like, yo, I can't like keep all of this music. You know what I'm saying? I need to put something out. And I ended up, putting out 4 or 5 tapes last year. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Hmm.
beats. You know what I'm saying? I was like, listen, I got to get this out. But the winter tape series was something that started. So like last year was winter tape 2, and the year before was the first time doing it with the winter tape. And it was just something that stuck. You know what I mean? I was like, Christmas, wintertime season, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that could start to become my thing, where it's like that's my signature tape. Like, regardless of what I do throughout the remainder of the year, like I look forward the most to like putting out that winter tape because I think that's like the culmination of my efforts throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? That's my way of capping off, you know what I'm saying, a productive year. So yeah, I put it out and like it's been pretty well received, man. A couple folk have been like, "Yo, why you ain't send me this joint? Or why you ain't send me that joint?"
Of course, right?
Like,
Of
yo,
course.
man, a couple people right now, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, Frank, you're gonna have to let me slide over that. Oh man, what's the joint? It was the Mrs. Claus or whatever. Like that beat. Like
Mm,
a couple folk hit me about that, and I'm just like, man, look, I'm just putting this music out, man. You know what I mean? And but it makes me. I really I'm humbled, man, that people even respond to my music the way that they have because there's a multitude of people out there just really doing their thing. So for someone to take a few minutes out of their day to check what I'm doing out, I don't take it lightly. Like it means a lot. Yep.
hey man, hey, not to interject, there's an album concept there. Let people rap on them
Yeah.
joints, put out the damn the winter tape sessions or something like that.
And
There
yo,
it
Boog,
is.
it's crazy. Like,
Yep.
yo, like, man. And that's another thing. Like like the next thing for me would probably do like like an album where like I'm just
Hmm.
having it's like a compilation where people just rapping over my joints.
Right.
The only reason why I think I haven't done it is because I guess the logistics of like, man, I know what it's like to mix and master my own music, but like if
Hmm.
I'm asking people to send in verses, and it's like that is a huge undertaking.
Right.
So
Different.
I'll
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
have to
yeah.
outsource that part of it.
For
But
sure.
I have
Hmm.
definitely thought about like, yo, doing like a straight up Avengers style like project where I'm just to listen to best of the best to just like go crazy on these joints. Cause I think I'm gonna have to do that, Boog. And you, of course, you already know it goes without saying. You listen, you
I
know what
want
it
I
is.
want the intro. No, I'm just
Listen,
kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just,
you already know what's going on, man. So
I'm just playing.
I listen. I think maybe this year, man, I might try to like get the foundation rolling on that because
Yeah, do that
that would be
shit.
the next thing, man. I think
Yeah,
I've built
Sure.
up enough equity with people, and
yeah.
people know and understand my sound, and I've built enough of a brand at this point where I feel like I could pull something like that off pretty successfully, and I think it'll be
Do
really
that
good.
shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely go
Yep.
for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you saying, yeah, you did drop a lot of projects in the last year.
Yeah. Man, I think yeah, the EP. So one that kind of came out of left field was like I dropped this EP like maybe 3 or 4 joints called like the Breakfast Tape or whatever, where it was like themed
Yes.
around like breakfast at Tiffany's. And strangely enough, man, like I'm a huge like film and cinema person, man. Like all types of films. And like, I was just in a mode, man, where I was just in like that 50s, 60s, like, film, mode. And Breakfast at Tiffany's just was happened to be on. And it was like it's one of my favorite films, honestly. It's just a good movie. And so I was like, yo, what if I do something random, like make a tape called, the Breakfast Tape, and I just take sound bites from the movie and pair it with certain beats that I made that maybe fit the concept. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's how that came about. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Strawberry mimosas. That's my
Oh
joint.
yeah. Yeah. My man. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, man, that's I just love creating, man. I love, making music. I love contributing most of all. Like I said, I look at it as contributing because I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not trying to set out to just like trailblaze. I'm just trying to contribute and keep this what is seemingly is like definitely not dying, but maybe not as put to the forefront segment of rap and hip hop. Just keep that vehicle going. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
and somebody's got to do it. We got to do it, man, because that way the kids, 20 years from now, they reaching back to understand, what I'm saying, what we did, Yep.
And you never know what's going to be timeless. I mean, like that's the thing. It's
That's true.
like what's the oh god, I can't think. I'm just drawing a
Everything
blank right
10
now.
years ago. And just
Yeah,
put
that's
it
what I'm
out.
saying.
Yeah.
And people, you never know what's gonna pop. You never
Yep.
know what 20 years from now people will be like. There's gonna be a new TikTok, and
Right.
you might be some kid doing a dance to your joint that you
Exactly.
did.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years
Yep.
ago. So put
Yep.
it out. I always tell people, put it out. Some
Yeah.
people hoard it. I like to put music out if I have it and it's ready. I love to put
Yep.
it out. So yeah, definitely.
And it's crazy, man. We're living in a time where like now it's it's sort of like a new genre unfolding, like adult contemporary rap.
For
And if
sure.
anything, like what the Clips has done, what Nas is doing, what all of the
Yep.
vets did like last year is a
Yep.
testament to the fact that there's obviously a lane for those of us who are mid to late 30s, early to mid 40s, who
Mhm.
grew up in that 90s
Mhm.
era, but now here we are in a different point in our lives where we're like, yo, some of us ain't living like certain lives that,
Mhm.
the kids are living it. Like we want to be able to grow with the genre that we fell in love with. And what
Correct.
better way
Yep.
to do that than to make music that caters to our age group, speaking on life
Mhm.
experiences, life that we're currently
Mhm.
living. You'd be surprised how
Mhm.
many people just want to hear dad raps about how we're
Yeah.
home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like taking
Right.
care of our
Right.
kids, struggle, man. We got to go to work, and there's a lane
Mhm.
for all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think
Because it's real life.
it
It's real.
is
That's
Yeah.
real life. Like,
Exactly.
exactly,
you know what I
exactly
mean? Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
And if anything, if you got something to say, let it be real, and
Mhm.
authentic and true.
For sure.
Yep.
Mhm.
Indeed. Now, I believe this is who I think it is, so I'm going to give him a big shout out for tuning in. Is that Chris
Oh,
Charles?
Chris,
Oh,
what's good, man?
yes, sir.
Yeah, he mixed and
Man,
mastered the project. Let me tell you
yes,
something.
indeed.
That is one of the
And
most talented
he
dudes.
dropped him
Yes, sir.
between
Chris.
midnight 1 and 2.
He sure
Yeah.
Dope
did,
project.
and we got another project coming soon. It's coming.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Nice.
coming,
nice.
and
Nice.
it's a
Nice.
beast. I'm not even. That's not. That's.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Yeah,
shout,
man. Listen,
shout to Chris, man.
it's
That's
one
my.
thing. Like that's
Appreciate
the
you
thing.
tuning
Like
in, Chris.
the raps and the beats mean nothing if you don't have the right mix, the right master, and someone who knows how to sonically glue all of that together. And yeah, man, Chris absolutely smoked that mix. As Boog was sending me the masters back, I was just like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
yeah.
the amount of like he shoots videos, crazy photographer, mix and masters, beats are crazy. He's rapping on the next one. Fuck it, I'm gonna make him rap. I'm
Let's
just
go.
kidding. Nah, seriously though. But yeah, big shout to Chris, man. Charles, as he for his beat name, Charles. He likes to be called.
Let's
So,
go.
yeah.
Indeed,
Let's
indeed.
go.
And because Chris tuned in, I'm gonna throw up his link real quick for those that definitely go check out his other work as well.
Dope, dope,
Big shout out, Chris.
for sure.
Now, Boog, you just mentioned something that is definitely important always, especially
Mm-hmm.
knowing your catalog of working with one producer the majority of the time, and
Mm-hmm.
having that chemistry, not just the
Mm-hmm.
production, the final mixing, the sequencing of the tracks and everything,
Mm-hmm.
always is important. But you,
Mm-hmm.
throughout your career, I have to say, have a great ear for producers and the production that you select for your projects.
I appreciate that, man. Honestly, with that, I just go off what it feels right. I mean, I don't really overthink it. Um, I never have. I mean, so I should say I'm lucky because when I came into the game, period, it was it was Ninth Crisis, Urel, Eccentric. I mean, it was what I'm saying, the people that I came into the game with. Me and Crisis were the little kind of the outcasts of the league, so that's how we linked up. So I always had it wasn't hard for me to pick dope shit, in my opinion, just because I was almost spoiled to an extent, right? So once I kind of got out here on my own, when I came back and decided I wanted to do it for myself and just roll, I just went with
Yeah,
what felt right. You know what I'm saying? I did like the I went with what felt right, and I went with like people that we kind of linked, like just in normal life too, like just talking and different
Mhm.
things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I pick, and that's it's not even like it's not a thought. I just go off what I love. It's like Frank said. I like to try to make what I love the
Yeah.
most. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
got you,
Yep.
hmm
got
Yeah,
you.
that's where it starts, man. Make what you
Chris,
love.
Chris, Chris said
yeah,
he may have a hot 16 for you.
got it. God, we you gonna open it up? We got another joint to do. Yeah, nah, our album is done for the most part. I think we're working on a couple small things, but there'll be some
Nice.
announcements on that. We're still rocking with Dark Knights right now, but yeah, we got some fire on there.
Dope,
That's for damn sure. Yeah. Hmm.
indeed. Speaking of chemistry, and I know you commented on it in your post. I want you to give your quick opinion on that Primo and Nas album.
I let me tell you something. I know there's a discourse in hip hop, and I'm hey, people's opinions are people's opinions. That's fine. I I love that album. I don't think I'm not to put any negative on. There's one joint on there I don't like. Everything else I love. I run that joint for life.
Yeah.
And I talked to my brother. My older brother. He's like he's the one that put me on there. We came up like this, so we always talk hip hop. But um, I always say I'm like I don't see how you can consider yourself a Primo fan and not like that album. I've
Right.
seen way too much like just slander thrown on Primo, and I'm not trying to make because to me I've seen a lot of heads love the shit too, but I love
Yeah.
that album. I
Hmm.
Yeah.
love that album.
Yeah.
I
That
love that.
it's
Preem's
phenomenal.
bass lines on that album. I don't know when I became a baseline dude, but apparently I am now. His bass lines are crazy on that shit. Nas always goes crazy. Nas has been on a run that like I think Nas for his position in hip hop, who he is, obviously what he's done, for him to do what he's doing at 50 years old,
Hmm.
and he doesn't
Yep.
have to. He
Right.
doesn't have to
Hmm.
do that shit. Is phenomenal, man. Like he is not. I don't want to say single handedly. That's stupid, but he's one of the main driving forces keeping this hip hop shit alive. Like
Yeah.
on levels, on
Yep.
so many levels. Like look what he just did with the Legend series too. He didn't have to
Yeah,
do
that's
that
where I got
with the Mass
the vinyl.
Appeal.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I,
Yeah,
I think I saw your pictures
I
out
got to
there. That's
meet
dope.
Primo.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's dope. Yeah, yeah. Preem's a good dude. Yeah, Preem's a good. I met him a
yep.
couple times. He but yeah, I love that album. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I love that album. I love
Yeah.
that album.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that
One,
joint is dope, man. And I think people are just like in an era where people want instant gratification and
Mm.
satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you didn't. Most of the people commenting on it didn't even let it breathe for a good 24 hours
I
before they
swear to
were
exactly.
just
God,
like, yo,
boy, I
like,
swear to
come
Yep.
God.
on, man. Like,
Yep.
y'all don't understand. Like, Preem and Nas have been this project has been something that obviously has been in the works for a long time, but at the same time, you have to give them the grace and the space to be able to create at the pace that they wanted to. Like, we don't know
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
the behind the scenes were of just like how this came to be in its very
Mhm.
like intricate ways, but just from the outside looking in, you can just tell like, yo, they didn't have to give us this, man. Like, they
Right.
could have
Mhm.
just let this
Yeah.
be like a myth, or like that
Mhm.
mythological thing that
Uh,
people talked about, but they gave it to us. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't be more happy about the album myself. I enjoyed it. I sure did.
That's real.
Sure did.
Yeah, I
yeah.
love it, and
Yep.
it's crazy because I said this, and I know Nas said on the album, he said something to the effect of, "Just us doing this, I already know people are gonna love it." I have a
Yeah.
different take on that. I thought it was brave that they did it because I thought
Yeah.
it was almost a no-win situation. Like, so to me, it was kind of like I knew, and this is what I've noticed. I noticed the people that quote unquote don't like it, it's like, well, I was expecting 12 Nas's likes. And I'm like, but you can't make an album out of
That's the
12
problem.
Nas's likes.
No.
Yep.
You have to, it has to be different moods, man. You can't
Exactly.
just make banger after banger after banger.
Right.
It's not gonna be an album. And
Right.
I'm like, they touched on so many different topics and just
Hmm.
and just and just like, I mean, he did a song about graph writers in 2026. Like, that's
Exactly.
wild.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
nailed it too. And nailed
Yep.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so dope to me, man. So
Man.
yeah.
And to me,
And then
and
shout it
listening
out to
to it
female
like from,
MCs too.
oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yep, for
man,
sure.
like I
Yep.
was, and me, I'm listening to it from like also the production side of things, and the
Hmm.
joint that they did where Nas is bigging up a lot of the the women in hip hop, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That
Hmm.
sample already, I was just like, I'm listening to the way Primo like straight up chopped and flipped that joint.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you everybody slandering Primo for sounding dated. You're out of your mind, because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you
Come on,
clearly
man.
aren't like listening to music in a way that, you know what I'm saying, like invokes thought, because I'm listening to it like, yo, Preem, you still got it, bro. You
Yeah.
still are the master technician, and we all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are the branches on the tree that you built. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up,
Yep.
just like that.
And
Yep.
and you know what's crazy? Preem had a hell of a year that people overlooked. He dropped the
Exactly.
album with Rock Mars. That's crazy. He
Yep.
dropped the album
Ransom.
with what? Ransom.
Ransom.
That's
Yep.
that
He did
shit's
joint. Yep.
crazy.
Hmm.
Man, he
Yep.
had a
Yep.
year. Don't
He
tell me
did.
Preem ain't.
He
Man,
did.
Preem's rocking. Fuck that.
Exactly. Man. And see, that's why like the adult contemporary rap, man, it's got to be a
Hmm.
new official recognized category, because
Yep.
last year it was just entirely too much heat. Entirely too much heat from the
Hmm.
elder statesmen. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And man, like it it was just great to see. It was great to see.
Yep.
It really did.
Yep.
It was great to see new life breathed into what a lot of people thought was just like a failing art form from a
Hmm.
mainstream perspective. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like,
Right.
so, but yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not going to stay on it too much longer, but one thing I did like what Nas did with his label Mass Appeal is, one, from a business aspect, he
Hmm.
was all over the place,
Yep.
Yeah.
and he still made
Yep.
time to make a complete album with Primo,
Yep.
and he was guest featured on damn near every project that they put at those 7
Yep.
albums.
That's
He was a
Yep.
right.
guest
Every
feature
album.
on
Yep.
there.
That's right.
He was. Yep.
Amazing, just
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
amazing.
It's incredible
Like,
to have that love for it still. You know what
yes.
I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that's, and he just did 6 albums like 2 years
Yeah,
ago. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, that's
Right. That's
crazy.
insane, man. Like, to have like that level of dedication to, because you got to be a part of these sessions. You're not executive producing and overseeing these projects without being involved. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
hands on. So to
Hmm.
dedicate yourself in that type of time to all of these artists, on
Hmm.
top of your own personal ventures and business and family obligations, it's commendable, man. Truly commendable. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
it's crazy. Like, mm,
Hmm.
yeah,
That's
high
wild.
caliber
Hmm.
stuff.
For sure.
Yep.
indeed, indeed. We're gonna stick on production a little bit because Frank, your
Hmm.
track Halloween 2K14 off the Sandy project is
Oh
one of my
yeah.
favorite.
Oh man, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Listen, that whole Sandy project, man, is just like it was somewhat of like a little passion joint for me because San Diego is one of my favorite cities. And it was just an ode, man, to some great times had in that place, man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it was just like it was a soundtrack to some really good summers, you know what I mean? And so that's the vibe. You know what I'm saying? The production on that joint is a lot lighter in texture. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit more expressive in that way. You know what I'm saying? And that was actually my first time. There's not many like samples on that album too. Like that, a lot of that what you hear is just
Okay.
me programming from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So
Nice.
yeah, that's what that was one of my favorite joints, man. Just to get that out there. But yeah, Halloween 2K14, like because the first time going to San Diego was actually during like and it was crazy because I remember I was out there and that was when ECU had that crazy party where like they destroyed a bunch of like buses and stuff in Greenville and
Oh
it
yeah.
was it was like some real like Project X type stuff, you know what I mean? So it was insane, man. And I remember like waking up the next morning and on Twitter or whatever, and it's like, yeah, Greenville just was pure chaos. But yeah, man. San Diego was a fun time. But yeah, that was the inspiration behind that project. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dope,
Yeah,
dope.
man.
Now back to Sean and still with the production. Speaking of
Hmm.
inspiration,
Hmm.
I still got to give a shout out to Keelan Donnell from the trio, the
For
Village,
sure. Yeah.
for
Much
you
love.
know
Yeah.
having the work that you did with him.
Yeah, for sure. Man, Keelan's such a good dude, number one. His production's incredible. I,
Indeed.
boy, if I had the money, I would blow the village up. I love those dudes as a group. I just think they're
Yep.
incredible artists, man. They really are incredible artists. The perspectives, they're just everything about them, man. So yeah, I mean, Keelan, and I think we talked about it when we dropped the Midnight Somewhere too. Um, Crisis kind of put me on to him because Crisis met him in Texas. He was down there doing some a beat showcase, and I hit
Hmm.
Crisis when I got back into the game when I decided to start doing it. And then I was just like, any upcoming producers that that want to rock, and he named him. He started sending me beats. Just incredible producer, man. So definitely shout out to Keelan, man. I got to get back in with him actually. Yeah, real.
Yeah, I would love to hear more work you do with them. And I got the chance to interview the Village, and I told
Hmm.
them before. I said
Nice.
a lot of their music reminds
Hmm.
me of Outkast
Mm,
because
For sure. Hmm.
sonically, Keelan is amazing,
Hmm.
and like you were mentioning, their content is right on
Hmm.
par with what Outkast was doing as well.
For sure, 100%. They even have the
dope.
duality of the rappers too, with
Yes.
God damn, I'm just drawing a blank. I'm horrible with this shit, but yeah, that you have your Andre and you have your big boy within the group, and that's just I love it. I love it, and
Dope.
man, I
Dope.
swear I wish I could. Boy, you need to rock with them too, Frank. You should. I'm a link
Say
y'all. That'd be
say
crazy.
less, man. I
Hey,
you listen.
link them up.
That's one thing,
Yeah,
man. I'm all about the collaboration, man, and
word.
spreading the sound and getting in with those who just dope. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
if let's get it.
yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean and Shada as well.
yeah. Yep, for sure.
Indeed, indeed. Now, this might have been hard and might have been easy for y'all, but to pick the first singles, That's Love
Hmm.
and Laid Back, was that your
Yep.
first two choices?
So that's love was Frank's choice, and it's
Yeah.
like I
Okay.
knew it. I didn't really have a pick, but he after we did, as soon as we recorded, I said to him, he's like, "This is it." He even mixed it and
Listen,
everything. He was just like, "Yo, this is it. This is the single." And I was like, "All right, cool." I'm
man.
not very picky like that. I knew it was fire, and I knew it had a good feeling to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that as far as the B side, laid back, that was just to me that's the epitome of a B side. Like it's dry, it's hard, it's dark,
Yeah,
It's you know what I'm saying. It hits you. And to me, the B sides are the bangers, and the singles are always the singles. That's just how I always look at it.
yeah.
Right,
And
right.
that was my thinking behind why those two were together like that.
And it's crazy because that love is well known Black Ivory sample, right? Another one that like has been done. You know what I'm saying? But like
Hmm.
in the way that I chopped it, and then when I got the rough joint back that Boog sent me, with him just letting the beat breathe some with the hook. That's what love is. That's what love is. Like it 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 was just like sometimes you can get in these mode where he's like, oh man, I have to fill up a beat with like
Hmm.
words and just to make the most of it. And sometimes you just gotta let it breathe. And the way that he
Yep.
just kind of
Mm.
like vibed out and let a lot of that the beat talk on the chorus itself is just
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah, that's the sign of someone who is like a really dope songwriter because they understand like, yo, this is one of those joints where it's just you give people who listen the chance to like really get into it. You know what I'm saying? And it's simplicity but complexity all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? To
Right.
understand that. So when he sent it back, I was just like, man, I man, I remember my wife was like, she's like, who is this? I was like, yeah, this is my man Boog. We working on the joint. She was like, and I already know when it gets my wife's nod of approval when I hear her like, that's what love is, and she kept doing it because she's not like a hip hop head like me, but she appreciates like just good
Hmm.
music, you know what I'm saying? So when someone just completely unfamiliar and has nothing invested in it can give you just a raw like, oh, I said, okay, yeah, we good. That's it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And a lot of
Yep.
that, I mean, and it's crazy because it's like I go off feeling when I write. I literally go off feeling. Like, so it's like I don't try to fill up beats. I don't,
Yeah.
but that's just comes with so many years of doing this shit. Like, you just learn what feels. It's like
Hmm.
one thing I know, you also have to know yourself as an artist. So like, I think I'm nice. Like I'm nice. Like I can even bar out with the best, but I don't consider myself a supreme lyricist like a Nas, but I know I can write songs. So I also try to, I want to make it so people can groove the shit, but then still
Hmm.
go, oh damn, he said some shit, or I can relate. But also I want you to groove. Like I
Yeah.
don't want everything. Now also there's, like laid back, which still has a point to it. There's joints that I just want to hit you in the head, but it's like
Yeah.
that was a joint. As soon as I heard the beat, I was like, oh, this is gonna be, this is gonna be a vibe. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be some shit that people can ride to. And that's why
Yep.
that was exactly my thought. So when the idea of the hook came, it's funny because I wrote the verse and then just went into the hook and it just felt right. So I just leave it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I try not to overthink shit. And that's that. So like you say, simplicity, complexity, it's true. Shit, the simpler the better, honestly, because
Yeah.
think about what makes the best jams in hip hop. They're always somewhat simpler to an extent. Like they're
Yeah.
always not I don't mean simple as in, but you know what I'm saying? Like just they can be stripped down. It doesn't have to be
Yep.
God, for the love of God, stop trying to fill up every goddamn bar. You know what
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's
Yep.
crazy, man. Like on the flip side of that coin, like when he sent me back, I do it.
Mm,
And I knew that I do it was like a real, like hard, like high energy, like just like
mm,
on some like it was like I was like, okay, yeah, I know he's gonna fool with this one. But when he sent it back, I was just like, and the way he just man, the way bruh, like you the way you floated over that joint, man. Huh, sauna, guess what, sauna. It was
mm,
not like it like the rhyme scheme was just like, yo, I'm sitting here like from a cinematic standpoint, I literally felt like I was in my mind. I was like, yo, this is on some James Bond like a fight sequence, but like he's also running
Mm.
through like Rome or something. You know what I'm saying? In pursuit of something. Like it was that high charge. You know what I'm saying? Because weirdly
Now I can
enough,
picture that.
I score like I really do think like this. I take the most cinematic experience you can possibly think, but then think of like the most hip hop rap way of
Hmm.
pairing that scene.
mm-hmm,
And that's
mm-hmm,
kind of how I also like to create. It's like, oh, if I'm a score for like a Bond movie, but I want it to be hip hop, but I wanted to also invoke that same type of dramatic
Mm.
energy as like one of those like sequences, like a train sequence or something. How would that sound? And
Nice.
that's what that's kind of my weird process in a way. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's
yeah,
wild because that's your vision. When what I hear in that, it took me back to Dare is a Dark Side. Like that's
yeah,
that's that's
Oh,
my vision
mm,
of that beat.
yeah,
Like just the feel of it. And I was just
yep,
like, oh yeah. And that's why, you know what I mean, the real simple that I do it. That's
yeah,
kind of Red
yep,
Manny, you know what I'm
yep,
saying?
mhm.
You know what I
exactly, yep,
mean? So it's like
yep.
it's if we could afford that video in Rome, we get it done. Let me tell
Oh, bro,
you.
listen, listen, saying I'm there.
Yeah, you know, right? Shit.
For sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That's amazing. You
Yeah.
Frank really captured the essence of NC hip hop on this project. And
Mhm.
you mentioned something about, just letting the production, flow in the beginning, because on That's Love, I got that vibe. I got that chill when I was listening to it. That took me back to early Justice League.
Right, right. Yep, that was one of them ones.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one of them
Yeah.
ones for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
I'm glad you picked that up, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's
That
real. Yep.
was that was my way of saying, all right, this is the Justice League puzzle. Let me squeeze one more piece in here. That was my way of kind of doing that, because it was like, yo, if I'm gonna at the end of it say that I contributed to that legacy in some way, it had to be right. It had to be right, man. And I think that was definitely one of the ones that got that through. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. 100%.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
I want Sean to break down the track "Shit Show." This
Uh-huh.
is one of my favorites. Content wise, I really enjoyed this one.
Yep. Hmm. Break it down. Let's see. So I have to think back to writing that. It's again, it's really just me looking at my life and piecing it together over the beat that makes me feel it.
Hmm.
I even have to think about the lyrics. Whew, give me a second. Let me think. Uh, as far as the Joker stuff, I knew I wanted to add that when I added that once I finished recording it.
Hmm.
It just meant it just kind of broke down everything that I was saying within the song. And it's really just another life joint, man. Like I mean, it's like when I look at music and the things I do, I talk about for the most part three things. Like I talk about my life, I talk about the world around me and what's going on,
Hmm.
and sometimes I'm just gonna bar you up. And that's kind of how I look at my music. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So shit show is one of those things where life is not easy, even at this age. People
Right.
think that because you're at a certain age, you're supposed to be well off, or I don't know what this illusion is,
Right.
but we're all working class people. You know
Yep.
what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like people
Yep.
are trying to get by. So when I look at the world is a shit show. And it's like the hook where it's like this ain't a movie, it's a shit show. All rappers are like, yo, it's a movie, and it's like, no, this ain't a movie, it's a shit show. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like this is
Yeah.
a this is a struggle. Like we're trying to make it out here.
Yep.
Um, and I try to keep it to my life, but I also try to keep it somewhat broad so people can understand. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
saying? So that's where I was coming from with that. That was the whole vibe of that. Yeah. Hmm.
Overall, when you listen to Dark Nights, what's that one song that, even though they're all bangers,
Hmm.
you might have a favorite one or two?
Go ahead, Frank. Let me think about that. Let me think about that because I have a yeah. I think I do,
Yeah,
but.
man. So I like I think my favorite it might be Zone Out, just because
Mm,
it's a culmination. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
the theme that Boog carried throughout, that entire project. You know what I'm saying? To come down to that moment where it's like the cool down. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
it's the Thanos sitting down, realizing that it was done. You know what I'm saying? At the end of Avengers Infinity War, where he just sits down and is like, looks around like
yeah.
it's done.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's the moment. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it just resonates, man. It's just one of those things that's like, yo, you reach a point where it's like, yeah, I've accomplished what I wanted to. So
Hmm.
let's toast. Let's just vibe out. Let's zone out. And yeah, so
Yeah,
that's Zone Out's probably my favorite. Yeah,
Okay.
zone out.
yep,
Okay,
yeah,
so I'm gonna. uh, I really do love That's Love. I love That's Love. So just from an MC standpoint, I really love Listen. Um,
Mm,
because Listen was one of them joints where I mean I always try to say something, but that's kind of more
yeah,
bar up, and I feel like I kind of I try to reach new peaks with myself, and I feel like that shit is just bars for
yeah,
bars for bars. I genuinely feel that way. So I love that, and I love the reason, man, because the reason is another one of those world joints,
yeah,
touching on what's going on.
yep,
Um, um, I'm really I try to give more substance these days, and that's one of them joints. So I really love the reason too. But I also like Let Zones because I like
yeah,
you said. I mean, to me, even like you said, when I heard that beat and I was just I was like, I already know what I'm doing with this. Like it was automatic. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it was like I have different reasons to love every joint on here. I
yeah.
do, but I would
I got you.
say the reason and listen for me. Yeah, yeah.
That bass line on the reason though.
Yeah, oh my God, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Bruh,
I'm
man.
trying to tell you. I
Yeah,
love the
man.
bass
Listen,
line. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, man. Like I'm like bass lines. Yeah, man. I really have developed like a new appreciation for 'em, man. Because honestly,
Mm-hmm.
like drums and bass it's the core of what rhythm
Mm-hmm.
is. You know what I'm saying? And it
Hmm.
carries like the essence of a song, and you build around that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, yeah, I get
That's real.
it. I get
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yep.
Frank, break down the origin of your name and why the dollar sign.
Yeah, man. So Frank is actually my for real middle name. Yeah, Frank is my middle name. My grandfather's name was Frank. My father's name is Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in school and I pledged Alpha Phi Alpha, they my line name was Frank White because overall, like our line was called the 10 Crook Commandments, after like Biggie's joint. And so everybody was given this sort of like heinous like criminal like name and moniker, you know what I'm saying? So I was Frank White from based off the movie The King of New York.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Frank has always had multiple meanings for me, you know what I'm saying? So but where the fresh came in, um the PH I think is also a play on the fact that it's a nod to my fraternity background. But the dollar sign, um I think I just wanted a quirky way to replace the S. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Okay.
doesn't really mean anything in terms of just like financial, financial gain or anything like that. It's really just like, this is just something different, something to replace. But interestingly enough, you can't put the dollar sign everywhere when it comes to like releasing
Mm-hmm.
music and
Yeah.
certain things. So, it still kind of cancels itself out. But yeah, that's sort of like the the intent behind, my producer name and alter ego, I guess you could say. Yep. Yeah, man.
Lastly, for Frank, last week it was a C Street, the professor's album release party.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Yeah, man. So it's actually so the party's coming up on the 6th of February, and Shreve is another MC, man, who I've had the pleasure of doing some significant work with. And it's crazy, like, me and him connected one the way that even came about, man. Like I was at a Genius Party event, and I had a beat set and I was playing the joint, and he just grabbed the mic
Hmm.
and just started freestyling right off, you know what I'm saying? And so
Oh,
from there, me and him started building, sent him some joints. And much like the chemistry I have with Boog, is just it's very organic, you know what I'm saying? Just you talking about people who just love to rap, love hip hop, and can get busy in their own regard on the mic, right? So yeah, he and I've got man, he and I've got some, some more work coming. But on February the 6th, we'll be at the Pinhook
sorry,
to
February 6th. Yeah.
have that release party. Yeah, man, it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be me, him, Sky Blue, Tab One from oh
Cooley
yeah,
High.
yeah,
Cooley
from
High.
Cooley
Yeah.
High.
Yep.
He'll
Mm-hmm.
be up there.
Shout out to
Um,
Tab.
yeah, OC from NC. He'll be
Oh,
up
another
on the
dope
bill as
MC.
well. It's another dope. Yeah, so
Yeah, he
it should
dope.
be a pretty
Hmm.
pretty dope show, and I'll have a beat set. Just going through some jams, like playing some some music, from some releases here, but also some joints no one has heard yet, man. Crack break out a few unreleased beats, man, and just ready to rock out. It should be a really good time. Yep.
For
Yep.
Nice,
sure.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. Being that you displayed and also spoke about the cinematic aspect of your creation, but also what you enjoy, what is one of your favorite cinematic films or soundtracks?
Oh man. How much time
Mm.
you got? No, but right off the bat, obviously, the Star Wars and
Mm, shout out to
Lord of the
John Williams.
Rings. Lord of the Rings might be my favorite of all time. I
Mm,
am I am a Lord of the Rings nerd. Like I'm talking like books. I'm talking. I'm one of those people that like would have no problem going to like a convention and just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
uh,
that's yeah. But those two, um, obviously all of the I think like all of the James Bond films, but obviously, more recently, the Daniel Craig ones, but Skyfall is my favorite Bond film
Skyfall, okay.
of all time. Yeah, and so, you know, uh yeah, but just those types of really huge orchestral, like just man, it's yeah, those types of films and soundtracks really hit. And I think more so than anything else is because it's like when I think about it in comparison to like hip hop, it's like those are like science fiction, completely different lanes away from like rap and stuff. But
Mm,
I hear, I hear like certain like rap elements pairing well, you know what I'm saying, with some of those films. And so one of these days, I think I'm gonna just do something real crazy and just I don't know, just like take some scenes from those movies and put it to some dope boom bap or some hip hop joints and just play around and have fun being creative. So that's yeah, that's
That'd be
nice.
dope.
kind of what I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the thing about great cinematic films, like you mentioned, is you will always remember the music to certain scenes, and
Always.
that's pretty much synonymous with way you and Sean created Dark Knights,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
there's certain tracks that just have a certain vibe, and it grabs you a certain way.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. Yep,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
yeah,
glad.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am too. I'm glad too, man. It's like I feel like we did what and accomplished what we set out to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
with Boog, he wanted to cap off his night series, with this project, and I'm just thankful that he trusted, what I'm saying, my sound to give him what he wanted and needed because it does sound overall like the ending. You know what I'm saying of what's been a great run. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just glad I was able to, provide the canvas, Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
oh,
for
shit.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
there was like certain sound bites and sound effects I picked up on, listening to video games, playing video games and stuff like that, that I picked
Hmm.
up on in there. But I really like what you did with Dark Side.
Hmm.
That was, it really full circle captured Sean speaking on, like he was mentioning before, in life and
Hmm.
experiences, and then also you still get that evil dark side feel of
Yeah.
Star
Yep.
Wars in it
Yep.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
That was amazing how you put the
Hmm.
two together like that.
Yeah. So when he said the beat, he already had the Star Wars was already in there. He
Yeah.
said it
Oh,
just like that,
Yeah.
and I was
It's
like, okay,
yep.
this is
Yeah,
what we're doing.
that was crazy because in truth, so here's an interesting thing. So initially I would like that beat was initially part of so Sundown from Act Proof. He and I
Shout
were
to
like,
Sundown.
yeah, we
Hmm.
was man, I don't even know. I lost touch with Sundown. I don't know where he is these days or what he's doing.
I don't
But
even think he's on social media or nothing no
I
more. But
figured
yeah,
as much. Yeah. But
yeah,
so, but
yeah.
me and him were going back and forth, man, and about some joints, and I kind of had this Star Wars theme in mind, and it was one of the things that I was going to just kind of maybe pitch to him,
Mhm.
but it just didn't. You know what I'm saying? And so that fell through. So I just held it. You know what I'm saying? But in thinking of the theme of this album, I was like, oh no, this was meant for Boog. You know what I'm saying? This was meant for
Mhm.
him. You know what I'm saying? So he said, man, and I just like it was a perfect soundbite, like Palpatine talking about, pathway to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, let's
Mm-hmm.
go. And then when he sent that,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that's it. This
That's it.
was
Yeah.
this was him. Yep,
Dope.
And
yep,
it's funny too, because like I remember when we started putting the project together, and I was like, I mean, he talked about the BPMs. It's like I was like, we need it here. Like this is I love. I haven't. This is what I love to do. So let's keep it in this BPM range. He
yeah,
sent that. He's like, I know you said this BPM range. This joint is a little slower. You got to do this joint. And he said, I
yeah.
was like, oh, I'm doing this shit. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
because I
So I
think
just
that one
did
was
it.
like
Yeah.
85, and the BPM
Yeah.
range he was like
It was right at
88
the
to
bottom. Yeah.
93 or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe this one might squeeze in because it's just I
Yeah.
don't know. I just had a good feeling about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
did. Yep. For sure.
Dope, dope. I got my Spotify up real quick. Let me see if I can play a track real quick. Which one would y'all like me to play?
Oh,
Man, you
you
can,
call it. You call it.
yeah, call it, man. Any
What's your
one of them
favorite joint?
joints.
Yeah. I'm shit.
Oh, one of my favorites. Hmm. Let me go with The Reason.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. I love the
Let me see
reason.
if I can get this up real quick. Okay. Here. Hold on a second.
I swear to God, man, I wish that life was easier.
You hear it?
Cash rules, so I wish that I was greedier. I would bomb first to hit this earth just like a meteor. I seen the harvest, seen this harvest. Shit is burned inside the brain just like a CDR. That's why you find me at the crib off of Cheech and Chong. So we can never come together like the Beatles song. I'm just trying to find a piece of when the treaty's gone. I could be at ease, sleeping soundly while the speaker's on. Full blast, send inside the chaos. Working like a motherfucker's feeling like a day off. Selling all your time for the money, that's the trade-off. Every single day, same shit, where's the payoff? Another motherfucker says some dumb shit, I'm taking off. That's just how I'm feeling though. Probably really low. To be honest, I don't really know. I get it though. I just dish it off to get it back, just like a give and go. How you feeling? I'm alive, that's how the living go. Spirits high, sitting low, S-A-double-O. P inside of 6 foes. I ain't got no bitches though. Got a wifey who's as real as they will ever come. We got it locked and stay in sync like a metronome. I don't give a fuck if you famous or you lesser known. If it ain't about respect, I'm better left alone. Cause I'm just trying to stack mine inside a crumbling world. A little off and outcast, I'm just crumbling herb. I'm just crumbling herb. If you don't like it, eat a dick, them some humbling words. Gotta tell it like it is, I am unreserved. Too many times I've been living like I'm undeserving. Underserving me and mine, that's why I keep working. Ice grilling on the stage, smiles behind the curtain. Cause you can never see the best of who I am. Prove to be the man I say I am. It's best to prove it with your hands. That's how they say it, you ain't fighting and you helpless. Society is high school, you speak and someone tells it. Remember being younger, thinking grown-ups knew it all. Till I grew up, saw the world, realized we ain't evolved at all. At all, at all. We have not evolved, the problems ain't been solved. The world is as it was when I was born. Money's still the law, now the dollar's on the card. That's the only real difference in this hateful ass world. We have not evolved, the problems ain't been solved. The world is as it was when I was born. Money's still the law, now the dollar's on the card. That's the only real difference in this hateful ass world. We have not evolved, the problems ain't been solved. The world is as it was when I was born. Money's still the law, now the dollar's on the card. That's the only real difference in this hateful ass world. We have not evolved in this hateful ass world. In this hateful ass world, money's still the law, now the dollar's on the card. That's the only real difference in this hateful ass world. World.
Yeah.
So hard.
Oh yeah.
I love that shit. It's always good to be a fan of your own music. Don't
Hey,
let
man,
people tell you
listen.
different.
Exactly. If you can't listen to it and enjoy it, man, then what's the point? How can you possibly expect someone else to, right?
That's real shit.
Yep.
Man, Dark Knights is out now. Can we expect any possible visuals, maybe any physicals?
So I shot a couple shorts for it to promote it. I would like to. I'd love to get like an official video for That's Love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make that happen. It's timing, it's paper, it's different things that come with it, but I would love to. As far as physicals, I do want to do some CDs. We'll talk about that, Frank. There might be. There might be. There might be.
We can definitely get together and think and talk through that, man. I would love to, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we can get some visual videos done for That's Love, that would be crazy. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. It's definitely be a way to keep this project breathing. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta if we can, we'll get into that. Yep.
The plan was to try to keep something moving with that. Let the holiday season go over. You know what I'm saying? We let that go by. So now that that's done, for sure. We're gonna figure something out.
Sure.
That's the beauty of being independent. You can move as you please.
You can do what you want when you want. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not under no label time crunch. You're not under no.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Indeed. Man, Sean Boog, Frank the Fresh, Dark Knights. I appreciate y'all taking the time to speak with us, and definitely
thank you.
Gave me a lot more insight into the whole creative process and why this is one of the top 2025 albums that y'all definitely should be listening to, sharing, speaking about. Go out there and support it.
Much love, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. We appreciate it for sure. Absolutely. Yep.
Appreciate it. Now, before we go, as always, give you shout outs and let everyone know where they can reach out to you.
So Sean Boog, at Sean Boog everywhere you look for me, except for if you want to find me on TikTok, it's at Sean Boogie Nights. I got 2 albums on the way this year. After we're done with the Dark Knights thing, we got I think I'm gonna change the album title. Me and Charles have a project coming, tentatively titled Building Blocks right now. I don't know. I'm not 100 on that yet. And then I got a part 2 of Neuroscience, part 2 with Jesus Christ. I got to stop drinking. And smoking for that matter. Anyway, Neuroscience part 2 is coming. I'm losing my mind and I can't think of names here. Bear with me a second because this is terrible. Rob Victim, thank you.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, my brain don't work. My apologies, Rob, if you see that. I'm just chalk it up to me being stupid. So those 2 albums are coming this year. I'm finishing up Neuroscience 2 right now. I think we got like 2 more joints to do, and then the Charles joint. Sean Boog everywhere. Please go get Dark Knights. If you haven't heard it, listen to it, man. Listen to it. I think you're gonna love it. Just what I'm saying. Just show some love.
Facts, man. Yeah, same. So y'all can find me, Frank the Fresh, across all, social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. As far as what, I've got coming, just more beats, man, just more beats. I'm just still being here cooking. You know what I'm saying? I got some irons in the fire with a few folk. you know, and just looking forward to continuing to push the sound, network, collaborate, and just you know, just keep this thing going. So I appreciate it. Definitely thank you everybody who's, you know, chimed in about Dark Knight so far, and keep running it up for, you know, for me and Sean, man. We appreciate y'all for sure.
And there will be another album coming from us.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
better
It
Yeah,
believe
is.
it.
you
It's-
It
yeah,
is.
you can definitely expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Great to hear.
So that's it,
Yeah.
man. We appreciate you, Wick. Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
man,
Wiki.
for real.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely,
Thank you,
man.
man. Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate
100%.
it. And on behalf of our HHDG Media crew, we're going to say peace.